Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the WannaBe Artist podcast. My name's Josh, and today we're going to be going over some movies, touch on some new trailers that just came out, go over some games, and then sneak peek into our Instagram we just created. You can follow us there at WBA Podcast. Please join in, stay tuned, and hit that like button. I don't know. I kind of lost it. I was like, follow us on Instagram.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the WannaBe Podcast. My name's Matt.
And I am Josh.
Also, that title's wrong. WannaBe Artist Podcast. I keep wanting to call it WannaBe Podcast, which it's not too far off, but
No, I've addressed it to people that have wanted to check it out as a WannaBe Podcast, and they're like, I can't find it. I'm like, well, that's my bad. I forgot the artist.
We're just wannabes. What are we wannabes of?
What do we want to do?
We just want to be, yo.
We just want to be.
We just want to be.
And that's really deep.
Want to be?
Yeah.
Part of this world. Part of this
deep.
universe. I got to meet the Nomi. It's my life's goal. That's an Outer Wilds reference for people that don't know. That's a little too deep.
For those of you that do know, touche, because I was just kind of doing that fake laugh thing, like, oh, I know what he's talking about.
What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, was that game you were playing? We were just kind of hanging out on Discord.
Yes, that's the one. So much fun. It's so much fun.
I want to play that game. I really do.
Single player only, which sucks, but hey, if you play it, I will totally watch you play it, because it's like Portal in terms of it's soloing. It's a solo campaign and you're trying to discover new things, and that's half the fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it compared to Legend of Zelda Wild. What's the most recent Legend of Zelda game?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Really? So it's on that level of not necessarily the RPG, but exploration.
Exploration, yes, just in different ways. But like because you think like, okay, I think I've solved most of everything. I've explored a good portion of all these planets. But it's not until like the last 20% that you suddenly discover what really went down. And you're like, oh my God.
Oh,
this happened? And like you start to piece everything together. Right now, like when you get to like 80% of the way through, you have all these puzzle pieces, but it still looks like a jumbled mess to you. And then you get like the one or two pieces left and you're like, oh my gosh. Like you start to it starts to make sense in your head, and it's wonderful. And
really?
It's a game that rewards you for exploring, but you kind of have to remember certain elements or certain things about the game.
That's interesting.
It's so rewarding, dude.
Because
my favorite game of 2019 is that game. Of 2018, it was Hollow Knight, and of instead of Mass Effect, but and then before that, I think it was Alien Isolation.
That's
and
crazy.
This year it's guaranteed 2020. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, if it ever comes out. You know what upsets me about that? Or actually, I want to go back to that game. I feel like Outer Worlds would be a fantastic game for me to play, because I've gotten really in Outer Wilds. Okay. Outer Worlds is that RPG kind of...
It's similar
Fallout type game.
Yes, made by the same people who made Fallout.
Gotcha.
But it's funny because I watched this documentary about Outer Wilds, and they're like, yeah, we know about the other one. We know about the other Outer and then W and D.
Yeah. But Outer Wilds, I like that.
I should say.
Like,
it's fun.
Where you piece it together, and then at the end you like connect all the dots. You're like, oh my goodness.
Pretty much. And dude,
that's crazy. That has me so curious.
Happens. And that's the thing. Let your curiosity take over, because if you do, there's only a few things I needed help on, and apparently everyone needed help on this game. There's so much you could do to explore. And half of the stuff that you do, you could if you know what to do, I could show you. I can show you the end of the game from scratch in 30 minutes.
Are you serious?
You can technically beat the game in 30 minutes if you know exactly what to do. But you don't.
That's insane.
And it took me 40 hours to actually beat the game. That's how I love that concept.
That's a total mind bender. Just like thinking about it after the fact, you're like, you're telling me I could have just done this to get to the end, but then you look back at everything you explored and the whole world kind of story you almost essentially built around your playthrough. That's cool. That's very
so
cool.
wonderful. And as a science geek, no, I'm not a science geek, but like I have a huge appreciation for science, and I love science fiction, and this game kind of merges that in itself too. And the way they built the game too, you know how like in most games you have like a plane, first person shooter, take Call of Duty for example, you have a plane of these buildings, the ground, certain props and set pieces, you have the enemies coming from over here, or even if it's a multiplayer, then you know your spawn comes from over here, yada yada. This game's built in a sphere. Nothing is boxed, nothing is an actual like plane, everything is a sphere, including the world itself. Okay, literally the worlds, and then the solar system itself is built in a sphere.
Crazy.
It's so cool, dude. It's so cool. Hell, I will buy you that game because that's how much I really enjoy this game. You can get it for free on, not sponsored, Game Pass by Xbox, or Steam for about $20. It's great.
That's, I kind of want to check it out. What got me really intrigued is it's a little bit spooky, but watching you play it was just extremely calming. Like the music, everything is just so atmospheric. You're just like, you feel that like loneliness and that need to explore. I don't know what, and I wasn't even playing, like, and I was just enthralled by this game. I was like, what is this?
I know, right? Well, so it is a little bit spooky. There's definitely a lot of spooky elements. The sound effects, I don't know who did the sound effects for the game, but they are brilliant. But it's almost, it's the theme of it is camping astronauts. You're literally just going out camping on the weekend. You got your handkerchief, you got your backpack full of gear, and you got your marshmallows ready for the campfire, except it's in space. It's nostalgic, and you really need to be an explorer or in the explorer mindset to really enjoy this game. I'm trying to get a bunch of friends to play it just because it's so underrated. Not too many people know of it because of Outer Worlds, but Outer Wilds was what, like, I haven't played Outer Worlds. I don't really have the interest to either, but no. I'm glad I played Outer Wilds.
I've hit that point to where games as such versus a game, for example, like the Outer Worlds, just don't pique my interest very much anymore, or I find myself unable to stick with them. Versus honestly, a lot of these more, I've been getting, and I never thought I'd do this versus a AAA title, but I've been getting more excited for like these smaller independent games, over anything else.
There's like a certain appreciation for indie games. This would be my second indie game that marks as my favorite. First one being Hollow Knight, made by, I believe, Australians. Yeah, I think it's an Australian company, Team Cherry. And there's this particular rawness when it comes to indie stuff that you can't get with AAA games anymore. Or at least, like, with AAA games, you know what you're expecting. You know the gameplay is supposed to be first or third person. This is going to happen. There's, like, set boundaries or set rules for AAA titles, which makes sense given the industry. I mean, it is an industry. It's a business-making or it's a business money-making industry at that, too. But there's a certain, like I mentioned earlier, rawness and passion when it comes to indie games and indie titles. So the game started off actually as a student project. And they straight up got extra money. I'm sorry, I think they went through Patreon after that. They're like, hey, this is actually a pretty big thing. Let's just keep going. And then another indie studio of some kind, I think. Go watch the documentary. It's to those listening, just type in Outer Wilds documentary. You'll find it. It's like a 40-minute thing. You could go cook noodles with it and listen to it.
And those passion projects, it's very rare that they don't turn out good.
Yeah, well, I'd say they were in a spot where people thought, hey, this has a lot of potential for something. Let's do this. Like the perfect mesh, the perfect thing is getting enough people to take a look at your stuff to fund your next thing while you're also delivering whatever that thing is. So in one case, my buddy Eric back home, his stuff's great. His stuff's amazing, but it's a little. I compare him to Stanley Kubrick, in which he's brilliant, but only a certain genre of people will like his stuff. Meanwhile, you can have who would be the blockbuster? I'd say Mike Brothers. Mike Brothers is able to know how to hit the audience where they feel good. He's able to make comedies, and is it technically great? Is it artistically great? I don't know. Maybe it hits the standard for sure. But his writing is amazing, and it reaches mass audiences. Artistically, there's not much there. It's just a comedy. It's just for fun. While Eric is on the other side of the spectrum of like, oh my gosh, if you really dig deep into this, like it has so much meaning behind it, but it's really hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
Not hard to watch, but like you get a little bit lost. You don't really know why you're watching it. You might lose interest pretty quickly. So finding that nice balance between making it watchable but still delivering the message that you're going for is a hard one to balance. And Outer Wilds and Hollow Knight, I think, are two really great games that do that. There's another game, Circuit something, it's like a 5-hour thing. This one's incredibly indie. I think there's only a few people working on it. No, I think they had a team, but it was a pretty small team. Long story short, you're this robot on this train. You're a detective, more or less, and you're trying to discover certain stuff. The execution was fine. It was pretty cool to have conversations with other robots who were just casually visiting a train. But after hour 4, you start to kind of notice, okay, this is going somewhere, and then it ends. And then you feel, oh, shoot, was that it?
That was it.
Yeah. The themes were amazing. It just needed a little extra oomph. A little extra, maybe a cutscene or more things you could do on the train. I'm not quite sure, but yeah.
So,
more so, yeah.
Yeah, and God, we're on the subject of games. I have to bring up Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes!
Dude, I am okay. You know what I'm so upset by?
What's that?
Is June I looked and I was under the impression they're done with delays, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with the delays. It's okay. The amount of fake outs they've done, I feel like have been a little excessive. I know it's not entirely their fault, but if you're not 100% ready to release the game, it's acceptable, I feel like, to have maybe one or two. I can see why people are getting a little annoyed by it at this point, because it's almost like the boy who cried wolf. Like, is this game ever going to come out? Because I didn't find out till this morning that I'm like, September's here. I was saving for the game. I'm like, it's coming out. I'm so excited. And then I don't know if anyone watches Game Rinks. They're a phenomenal gaming channel. They go over news.
I should.
Dude, they're awesome. They go over news, the everything. And they don't do reviews. They do before you buys, where they give you pros, cons, and a little bit of everything else. Like,
okay.
And it's very cool. And they release videos every day, which I don't know how they do that. They're a team of like 3 people. Dedication.
That's really impressive, honestly. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch their videos because I'm curious about them. They must like crank them out. I'd assume like they have a few days of content creating and editing, and then they like spread it out.
I think that's how they must have to do it. But anyway, I'm watching them this morning, and I'm skipping through like they're like 10 most anticipated games coming out in September. I'm like, here we go. I'm scrolling. I'm skipping through the video. because I just wanted to see Cyberpunk. I kind of had an idea of everything they were gonna list already.
Hell yeah.
It's like not a big fan of these other games, and then number one is like something I've never heard of, and I was just like, you guys are just gonna skip over Cyberpunk, and I was like,
the
no,
biggest game on the planet.
yeah, I was like, no, they didn't. No, they did not. And I went to the Cyberpunk Twitter, just Googled it, and yeah, sure enough, now it's not coming out till November. And I was really anticipating the September release for the sole fact that I'm not starting school till like officially starting classes till October. And I wanted to have the game for a month and just go ham on it.
That sucks. Oh,
Yeah.
that major sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
I know.
I mean, it's
like,
for a better
why?
execution, but dang, that sucks.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's fine. I get it. I would rather have a finished game than an unfinished game. But
Mhm.
I'm hoping, for the sake of them, because I'm really on board with CD Projekt Red, that if they, I'm hoping it does actually come out in November and they can polish it up in time.
Mhm.
Because I think doing another another date, switching dates again, is really gonna put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Like, is
Probably,
this game?
yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, we have Final Fantasy, which is notorious for doing that. To the point of like 15 years.
Oh my
10
gosh.
years. Sorry, 10 years.
There's also Kingdom Hearts as well. Similar boat.
Yes. Which, to me, sorry, Tony, was not good. Was not good. I'm saying it. I was not a fan. And maybe I just grew out of it. I'm really not sure, but I was just not digging it.
Yeah, I get
It
you.
just felt extremely unpolished.
Well, so I'm not a Kingdom Hearts fan at all, and whenever I look up parodies, all I hear is friendship, magic, love, kindness, friendship,
Yeah.
heartless, friendship. It doesn't make any lick of sense. Destiny borderline makes sense to me between the light and darkness if you look at it metaphorically, but then there's Kingdom Hearts, and I have no freaking understanding of what's happening. And I feel like there needs to be like, here's the simplified timeline for all the normies out there. Now, if you want deeper stuff, here's like for the hardcore fans. But I even feel like the base story has so much involved in that deep stuff that I'm like, I'm not curious about Kingdom Hearts at all.
Oh, dude. Even the base story that you can find on like YouTube or anything is just still like, what? Like, you're
Right.
still just questioning.
Literally.
I don't get it.
Literally.
And I can comprehend it. Like, I get it enough. Like, I get what the video is saying, but then I don't know. There's just so much going on in that game that was not tied together very well. And it might have been part of their strategy is for hardcore activists to, like, of the game to just fully be able to have that chip on their shoulders that I know exactly what's going on.
And that's a
You know,
possibility, yeah.
But who knows? Who knows?
There's a friend of mine who, well, I met them on Twitter. Long story short, they have a lot of critical notes about the Mass Effect trilogy. They very much only care for the first game. Sure, cool, makes sense. But she's able to like see all the plot holes between the second and third game. And here, I'm like, I'm sure I could too, or even if I can't, I'm still going to enjoy the base level game and the story for what it is, because it's still a wonderfully written classic game franchise. Which, by the way, I have a ramble later about that, but that'll be after this. Other exciting news, though. Actually, I'll comment off first. Yes, Cyberpunk. I'm super hyped for. That's pretty much my most anticipated game of this year. Topping Halo, but I am still excited for Halo. But I'm also thankful that they are postponing. Speaking of postponing, I'm thankful that they are postponing Halo Infinite for next year, because I do believe, you know, a lot of fans say like, you can't polish a turd, it's still going to be a turd at the end. Yeah, well, I mean, the game didn't look bad. It just didn't look like it was meeting expectations or even standards. That's just me, though.
It looked awful. I'm sorry. Like, everybody defending the game, kudos to you. You're a true Halo fanatic, or you just don't care about graphics. I'm sorry, but when I saw that, I was like, oof.
Well, see,
Oof.
that's the thing, though. So a lot of people were mad about that trailer, and then the same people were mad that the game's being postponed. And I'm like, this is wonderful. This is exactly what we need. Like,
Right.
they can do. They have more time to make it a better game. They're gonna release it a few months from now. I think straight up next month in September. They have borderline, I think, half a year to polish it up. That's amazing. You can do so much in half a year, or so little. But I'm glad that they're given the extra time. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted to say. Because I
Yeah.
want this to be the best it could possibly be. Like, let's get Halo 2 anniversary graphic levels good on this stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of other exciting news, I hear there's a new superhero movie coming out. And a certain somebody here is a huge fan of a certain black-caped vigilante.
Let me
at
tell
night.
you, the second that trailer came out, my heart was racing. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. Like,
Honestly, I do too.
the only thing I did not care for, was actually the first time I watched it, I was a little bit taken out of it from the soundtrack, the Nirvana song.
Oh,
The
that's
song,
every-
but watching it again, I was like, this fits. I mean, this fits, and I think Robert Pattinson looks like a real Batman should look.
Dude, he straight up looks like a cartoon Batman, though. Like, not a cartoon in the bad way, but he's like, yo, like, with his just the way he looks like not like a hardcore young Bruce Wayne, but I watched Jeremy John's his take on the trailer. Honestly, I 100% agree with him. It looks like this is post quote Batman Begins. He already started being Batman, but he's not quite an expert at it either. He hasn't been the Batman for a long time. He's won the police over, and that's pretty much that. Or maybe they're on the fence of Batman, but like, Robert Pattinson looks great. His suit looks pretty cool. The style looks pretty interesting, and that's one thing I'll give DC movies overall is they're all doing very different things. Like, we already had the Joker movie come out, but this Batman movie looks like a completely separate thing. Wonder Woman 1984 looks like a completely separate thing, and I kind of dig that. That's cool.
Yeah. I so for me, shoot, you're gonna have to turn my levels down when you edit this one. I do apologize. I didn't realize how loud I had my mic up.
You're good.
I should probably just leave
I can
it though.
normalize it. Yeah, I'd just leave it. I can just boost
Leave it.
mine up,
That'll
or-
make it easy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, for me, because Batman's supposed to look a little bit like, I like the idea of them making him look a little bit like a psychopath.
Interesting
I don't know
take. Okay.
I don't know if you got that feel from him in the trailer, but when he takes a helmet, like when it's just him,
Oh, and
he
he looks
looks a
like
little-
freaking the Winter Soldier.
he just looks a little off. You know, he doesn't look like he's
Yeah.
a normal man just dressing up as a bat at all.
Well, that's the funny thing is, like, all these. So we've had Christopher Nolan's Batman, which is, here's a damaged man, and he's able to turn his psychopathic nature, if you will, or I don't know. He's able to turn his disadvantage, his fears, into his advantage. And then you have the Ben Affleck Batman, or the Batfleck, whatever they call him. He's fine, I guess. I have no opinions on him. He's just cool. You're another
he's
Batman.
just- yeah.
Sorry. Robert Pattinson, though, I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of interesting things. Okay, actually, this is interesting. It's a trailer that at the very end said "still in production." I'm not sure what the actual phrase is, but it said something like "still in production." They're still shooting, or they're still making Batman, which is fascinating. I'm not sure if they're going through reshoots or if that means, hey, we're in post-production. because with trailers it's always super vague, but I have no idea what the story is, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I do as well. The but that's the thing is like you think about what Batman does and who he is, and you're like, this guy's insane. Like this,
But
no
we never get
sane,
that side.
yeah, like no sane person would be doing these. Would even have the fathom to become this person. So what? I mean, yeah, we're glad he's on our side versus
Yeah.
becoming a villain because the same take can be on them. Like that, what a deranged individual to
Right.
paint their face like a clown, and, or like he's
To
just
wear
like
a bunch of yeah.
yeah. And so I like that small glimpse we got of Robert Pattinson as Batman. I like that there's the eye makeup too because they always never have the eye makeup, and it's like there's
Gotta have.
He's gonna
Even
have
the Winter
eye
Soldier
makeup
had
on.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just,
So
that's just how it is.
yeah,
Look at
and
that
he
progression.
yeah, he just looked like a little bit of a loss, just off. Like I analyzed just that one
Yeah.
scene for a bunch of times because I was like, I think I really like this Robert Pattinson Spider-Man.
I don't know
And
if
then-
you've seen Robert Pattinson much anything else, but he's a really good actor. It's just it's sad that he was or at least it took almost 10 years to get rid of his typecast of a vampire.
Yeah, there was that. The other thing, for me was that fight scene.
Ooh.
Dude.
There's a part of me that I was like, Josh is like juicing his pants right now.
Oh my god, I was. Just
It's so
oh
freaking
my
brutal. It's you bring like the brutality of the Ben Affleck Batman, but it hurts. Like what was it like? Hits him in the face a few times, takes his arm, breaks his arm, hits him again. He's on the ground. He hits him again. He's
Yeah.
freaking brutal.
yeah, we don't kill people. He just puts them in comas for the rest of their lives.
You know, they're still alive.
I mean, he's still living. He's not dead.
You know, Terminator shoots a guy in the leg. Oh, he'll live. He'll be,
Yeah.
walking. I'm sorry, he won't be walking anymore. He'll be in a wheelchair, but, he'll live.
Yeah,
Or
but
comas.
and I love that line. I'm vengeance.
Yeah.
I was like-
this is a Batman that he's still trying to find himself. And I dig that. And I hope they focus on that aspect. Like, is he almost like a villainous Batman in a way? Like, he's borderline a villain. And this is him trying to find... Because you know how, like, the first Christopher Nolan Batman, here's the reason why he doesn't kill. But he's always been that way since... or at least we get that since his training years with Ra's al Ghul. But here, it looks like, okay, he hasn't had training from Ra's al Ghul, or maybe he has, whatever the case is. I don't know if that's something from the comic or something that Christopher Nolan just invented, but that's the impression I'm getting. Why does he have this rule? Maybe this is him discovering why the rule exists of like, hey, you don't kill, here's why.
Yeah, and I hope they really. I agree with you. I hope they explore that. My concern comes in is we have Catwoman. We have apparently the Riddler, or the Riddler's like the main one, and then Penguin's supposed to be in it.
Interesting.
And so I'm just hoping there's not so much arc. Maybe, and it's because they have to set up this new universe. I feel like Matt Reeves is trying to maybe set up a new universe, because why else would you have all these major players in the one movie?
Possibly. I also feel like, it's similar to, we've had the Joker movie, we had the Harley Quinn movie recently too, and they're all so different.
Yeah.
That at this point maybe they have like a series with Batman, and like a movie series, and that's it. They're doing their own thing with it.
Yeah, which would be great. I would love that. I don't know. I'm really excited to see
I
what
am
they do
too.
with it.
Yeah. I hope it's less franchisey like Marvel. Like what Marvel did was amazing, but I think what DC's doing right now is better than not better than Marvel, but like it's a better direction. Like Marvel had their fun with their 11-year journey, which is still going on as far as I know. DC, you should do something different until maybe, you know, in the next 5 to 10 years, you try your own cinematic universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think they tried to jump the gun to get on board with Marvel, and they're realizing that it didn't work out. But I think that's for the best, because now it's, for me, it feels like it might be the rise of DC, which
I think
like
so.
the DC characters more than Marvel,
Oh, dang.
anyways.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
dang. Okay. I think I'm more so Marvel, but just because Spider-Man. I can't get rid of Spider. Like,
Yeah, that is
like,
hard.
you have Batman versus Spider-Man in terms of the Superman and Iron Man, but those two are the icons in terms of superheroes for DC and Marvel. One could
Yeah.
argue Superman, but in terms of popularity and what or who people like more, I'd say Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a toss up. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I know we had the Nolan Batmans, but we're getting a more comic book.
And I think it's cool to embrace some of that stuff too. Like Christopher Nolan's Batman was more grounded, but it'd be cool to finally see like, okay, so here's Batman in one comic alternative, and here's another version. We have so many versions of Batman now, which is cool. And they're all so different, and that's amazing. Hopefully, it'd be cool to see Marvel do something like that too, because Marvel has so many different universes. They're starting to with Spider-Verse, with different alternations of Spider-Man. So it'd be cool to explore that stuff a little bit more, but I'm glad DC's starting that trend.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I ended off. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Same.
Yeah.
So question, is there a movie theater open around you? Because speaking of Batman and Christopher Nolan, Tenet's coming out soon.
I know. And
it says in select theaters, or I think they said like in open theaters or theaters that are open or something like that. Like they had a really particular way of phrasing it, as opposed to saying like in theaters now. They specifically said like in open theaters or theaters that are open or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, no. I do not have a movie theater that'll be playing it. In fact, I don't even know if our movie theater is gonna be opening back up due to this whole COVID thing.
Really?
So I don't.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to say right now. I could go to Spokane maybe. There's several cities around me that I could travel to that are all within an hour and a half, which I would gladly do for Tenet.
Sounds like you might have to. Maybe you can take your girl with you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very hyped for that as well.
That'd be sweet.
So,
well, you want to get into the nitty-gritty of stuff?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Cool.
I'm excited for everything right now.
Heck yeah. We had this idea of using Instagram. Josh, I'll let you take care of like the actual creation of that stuff if you want. Or if you want me to do that.
No.
Either way.
No, definitely. I don't mind doing that at all. Yeah, we thought just to expand our platform a little bit. YouTube's great for. That's the thing is I'm not too familiar with keywording YouTube to get your videos necessarily noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a thing on YouTube, but Instagram, I know it'd be nice to expand there as well. The hashtagging, things like that, can kind of expose you out there. And I liked your idea too, is to give a little bit more of a background on us as well, like post some older photos, incorporate that.
That'd be fun, I think.
Yeah, into our Instagram, along with just short updates on, let's say an idea pops into our head, we want to bring it up in a podcast, or something cool happens. For example, this Batman, and you obviously, I want to hear your thoughts as well. So, but let's, like, for this Batman trailer, let's say the podcast, we haven't recorded it yet, or something like that, and one of us just pops up our phone, just decides to post a quick video on the trailer, like, have you seen this trailer?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get we're definitely gonna have to talk about this in the next episode.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, that'd be
little
super
things.
fun.
Yeah, like little life updates we could post there, um, along with just backgrounds about us. If we find something cool, want to talk about it or post it, we can put it there. Just
Absolutely, yeah.
just a way for us to get some more exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So my experience with Instagram is through I've had my own Instagram, and it's much easier to Instagram for a company or a platform or I'm sorry, not a platform, but for a persona. Tags on Instagram help a lot in terms of getting the immediate likes. Interactions also super work too, so that'll be an interesting thing to get into later, but I've always kind of run my personal Instagram as just a personal Instagram. It's just a fun little thing to upload stuff to. And I don't really care for managing multiple accounts, but for the past 2 years I've been having to do that anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, close to 3 years now. Dang. Yeah. It's just part of the business at this point. Social media is a really important thing, and for getting more watchers and views and such, it'd be good to advertise everywhere. Sadly, we don't have a team of social media gurus here, so we have to kind of do our own thing, which is totally possible. It helps that we live some of what we're trying to do as well. Like, for the most part, filmmaking is what I want to do for a career. Like, I live that stuff. So, you know, whatever I'm up to, cool, I can just take a quick picture or a video, something, send it on over to Instagram, and it's good to go. Tag it correctly, and we'll be good. And then for per episode too, we can even announce like, yo, hey, like whatever thumbnail that we make for the episode, we can just upload that to Instagram too and say, yo, hey, new episode's up, check it out, we talk about this thing. Twitter's great for that stuff too. Facebook is also pretty good for that, especially if we have like a community group of some kind, but that's thinking far ahead. So for now, I think Instagram would be super fun.
Yeah, I agree. And just speaking of that, I think it'd be good to just record a quick segment here, give a little background of what we got going on. You know, we got the dual screening. We got a lot going on for everyone on the podcast. We're just sitting here recording. I'm getting this video out there. I think everyone should come check out WannaBe Artist Podcast. What do you think, Matt?
I think everyone should check out the WannaBe podcast, the WannaBe Artist podcast. Whoops.
Oh my goodness.
That's gonna take a little bit. And here am I on the socials of Insta for the WannaBe Artist podcast. How's it going, Joe? Oh wait, I just remembered. We're both wearing headphones. This wouldn't work anyways. Oops.
I was just thinking about it too.
Whoops.
We are funny.
That's okay.
Hilarious. Okay, well, we had this whole idea pre-planned to like.
You straight up had like this idea for like the past week, just like, dude, I really want to do this. What do you think about this?
No, you know what you can do is if you pretended like you grabbed my phone from the screen.
Ooh, yeah.
And then just we're like, hey, Josh, doing good? Or like, or whatever, just saying whatever.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like a quick pass. We could do that after the podcast, though.
That sounds good. That's freaking funny.
And then you can just send me the video, and I could either make it one video or it could just be two separate small little clips.
Which do you think would work best for you? Or what do you think would hit people more? What do you think would be better? Production value-wise, it'd be better to make it one video. But then there's, like, maybe it might help if, like, you know, the first video is you, then the second video is me. Because then, hey, that kind of helps, like, this is two people. But I don't know. We've never done this before.
Yeah. I think we should do that. I think we should do two separate videos because then it kind of alienates both of us into our own backgrounds. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah, that sounds good. Plus, then people would have to, like, if they watch mine, then it's like, what the heck? What is happening? They have to go to yours. And for people that go to yours first, it's like, wait, there's more? They go to mine. Hey, there's more.
Yeah. We'll do that after the podcast.
For sure.
We'll do it after. it wasn't play. I didn't think it through very well.
I also didn't think it through. I also have the AC running, so I don't know how this would have worked anyways, even if I had used my speakers. So, oh well.
That's good. That's
Oops.
funny. But yeah,
Did you want to workshop Instagram real quick?
What was that?
Did you want to workshop Instagram right now?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's do it. So, okay. On my phone, I have logged in the WannaBe podcast account for Gmail. And then I can start uploading our banner and such up there. That way, if you want to download it and then upload it to our Instagram, that'd be cool. This is the boring part of the podcast where you get to straight up hear Josh and I actually do this live. Welcome to our brand new tutorial channel.
So first, what you want to do is you want to go create username,
Whoa.
and then
Slow down there, buddy.
and then what you want to do is just hope that nobody has your name, and nobody has our name.
Hey, nice. Whoa, what would you put down for the name?
I put WannaBe Artist Podcast.
Hey, nice. I'm almost thinking, would it be easier? What should the @ be? Because that might be a little long.
That's long.
WBA, maybe? WBA pod?
There we go. Yeah. Good call.
Because then a lot of people... Where the heck is this login info? I know I have it somewhere. For those who don't know about Google Keep, it is there it is. It is an amazing, amazing note-taking app.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, since I downloaded it, it's been great. I've been putting...
Dude, isn't it awesome?
Yeah, it's been super easy
love it.
to... I put WBA Pod.
WBA Pod. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That sounds good to me.
That works for me.
WBA Pod or podcast, whichever. Works for me. Okay, Duke. I'm logged in.
Let's actually spell out podcast. Let's do that. WBA Podcast.
WBA Podcast.
Boom.
What's WBA stand for?
Sign up with a different email.
Walgreens Boots Alliance Inc. Cool. I don't think anyone's gonna be looking that up, so we're good there. The Boots Alliance. What?
Can you please? What is it that you're even talking about?
I wanted to put in just in case WBA because people are gonna look up. Actually, what is WBA podcast? Does anyone have that? World Builders Anonymous. Okay.
Ew.
West
they're not
Bromwich, Albion. World Builders Anonymous.
Well, you know what? They're not on Instagram, so
no,
it's ours.
They're not. What is this? An official Twitter account of the World Builders Anonymous podcast. If you enjoy fantasy, writing, or general nerdiness, you've come to the right place. Oh, interesting. I was expecting, like, construction or something.
Yeah. Huh.
That's cool. We might have to hit them up later and be like, yo, hey, how's it going?
We stole your name, and you can't have it back. We stole your name.
We're sorry.
You don't get it back.
You can be Worldly Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so happy I get Mosaic back. It's gonna be so nice.
Talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm still waiting to hear back from everyone. Actually, I could probably check, but long story short, I need to swap URLs for my actual website because currently it's mosaic-studios.com. And if you go to mosaicstudios.com, as of the recording of this podcast, nothing would show up. So I need to swap them out. I use Wix currently as opposed to GoDaddy. I'm going to stick with GoDaddy for a little while, but or at
as
least
far
for
who can host your domain?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Whoopsies. But hold on, there we go. I'm copying things to Google Drive, the WannaBe podcast Google Drive. So we have our banner icon. I'm sorry, the channel art, the banner icon, and then a picture of you. Where's the picture of me? I'll just put Ridley here. Cool. But yeah, I need to at some point swap those out when I have a little bit of extra free time. But I'm just so happy that I actually own the URL. It's so nice.
Yeah.
That.
No, that I feel like that's huge.
I think so. Hey, welcome to your Instagram. Excellent. I just got that email. Let me confirm that email real quick for you. And then we'll be good to go. What else is going on in life? Been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's been fun. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. And hey, email not what? The email for this account couldn't be confirmed. Make sure you're well. Yeah, that's the Maddox account. You may want to check your Instagram, see if me clicking on that button worked. Otherwise, you may have to confirm on your own computer.
Oh, wait, confirm what?
Just that we have our Instagram. It says, well, just you make a new account. It's always asking to confirm your account.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
But this looks nice. Oh, this is cool. What layout is this? I've had the classic layout for so long. Let's see what else is going on, though. I guess that's, watching Avatar just for fun. Kind of looking for a new game to play, but honestly, I'm still stuck on Outer Wilds, and I want a game like Outer Wilds. I don't want something different.
Yeah. I tried to get back into The Last Airbender. To me, it's aged a little bit, or I've aged a little bit, so some of it's not. I'm having a little bit of a harder time getting into it, but at the same time, I love like My Hero Academia or a bunch of other animes in it, so it's kind of like I really want to revisit it though, because I just remember sitting at home anticipating the final episode and I almost cried.
Right, the final episode. That's actually I'm on that episode for Netflix. It's a movie length. It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I'm at the final. Basically the final episode.
Dude, that's awesome.
Isn't it though? So, it's the first season or book is very kiddie, I'll admit, because it wasn't necessarily hard for me to get into it, but it was like, okay, well, I'll just draw while I listen to this TV show, and at some point, I started to get distracted by how good it was. And the first episode, I think, establishes the characters brilliantly, where you have, let's say, Zuko, this, the antagonist of the first book. How do you show off an intimidating villain character, or antagonist, maybe not villain, but antagonist, and yet still keep it child-friendly? Okay, well, here is Sokka, who is the comedic relief character of book one, and he's a terrible fighter. Meanwhile, what was I saying? Right, you have these two fight. Sokka's not that great, and Zuko kicks his butt pretty easily. Yet, Sokka throws his boomerang, and it hits Zuko in the back of the head or something.
Right.
Like, there's like little moments like that kind of tell me, oh, cool. Like, these writers are actually really brilliant. Everything that was established before is somehow brought back in later books, and that's really smart. I miss TV when like you start kind of seeing the threads laid out in certain stuff. Like even back with like book 3, the couple of last episodes, some of them reference events back in book 1, and that's really cool. And I think that super helps, similar to Breaking Bad, where like it's a very self-contained thing. They're not relying on you forgetting certain stuff. Like, you can forget for sure, but you know, they're going to call back certain stuff. It's very tightly knit, at least I feel like it is.
Yeah.
But it's also a kid's show, so you know, they're not going to be as adult about certain things as much as the other person, or as much as another show per se. But yeah,
Right.
it's good.
No,
It's good.
yeah, and I've been trying to put time aside to actually delve back into it because it's not like it's that long. I mean, it's just long enough.
It's weirdly short, and I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I started it last Saturday, and it's currently Tuesday. That's how fast I got through it.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I need to jump back on that because, yeah, I'm really hyped for it. Oh, get this though. You know how they were gonna do the live adaptation?
Yeah. Oh, for Netflix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you hear what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
The original creators
gosh.
left, right?
Yeah.
Like, they were brought back in, and then they were out.
Yeah, and now they're gonna turn it into some angsty teen violent drama.
Okay, that I didn't hear about. What?
I'm just assuming because the original creators had their vision for the live adaptation and Netflix took over. There was conflict about regarding like violence and stuff, and the creators didn't want to make like a super violent TV show based on these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Netflix wanted to include like some more drama between the characters, and the creators are no longer part of the
Right.
creation
Like
of the live adaptation. And I,
too
don't
many
quote me
creative
on
differences.
that. I read a little bit into like I read that they left, and I read the article why. I don't remember fully what the article was saying, but I just remember the feeling I got from it, which was more along the lines of they're gonna screw this up. I mean, in a nutshell, it's not gonna
Yeah.
be the same.
It perhaps. And there's so much hype and disappointment out there in the world. Between video games, TV shows, animations, movies, that at this point I'm at a point where I'm just waiting to see what happens. Like, this could be bad or it could be great. It's really hard to say. Like, at this point, what was it? They rushed Mass Effect Andromeda out. It turned out to be pretty bad. But they had 5 years to work on it. Well, actually, I'm trying to find better comparisons. Sorry, my brain is like slowly dying right now.
No,
But
you're
whether
totally
things
fine.
are pushed back or not, there always seems to be this case of, like, people say it like, well, it's been pushed back. Obviously, it's got to be good then. Or, I keep forgetting. Oh, you know what? Here's a good example. Alien. The first two Alien movies are freaking classics. Ridley Scott comes back for Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Didn't really turn out that great.
Right.
Granted, I didn't care for 3. 4 was action-packed and weird. It's hard to say what would make it good or bad. However, that's not an entertaining thing to say. Opinions and not facts are more entertaining. So I will say, if I had to lean one way or another, I am also scared.
Yeah.
I'll put
Hopefully-
it that way. If I had
Yeah.
an opinion, that would be my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat as you. It's kind of like there's some things that were supposed to be bad can end up good. Some things that were supposed to be good end up not being so good.
Mm-hmm. Everyone thought the Joker
everything-
movie was gonna suck because, like, you're revealing the Joker's origin. What are you doing? This is gonna be terrible. And that turned out to win an Oscar and getting, like, recognized across everybody.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. I did not enjoy that film.
I forgot you actually don't care for that movie. Yeah.
I kind of almost wanted to walk out of the theater.
Ooh, damn.
I was very close to just being kind of like done with the movie. But at the same time, I appreciate what they were going for. I appreciate what they were doing. As far as creating this uncomfortable, like the character's an uncomfortable character as it is. And and they really portrayed him in a real world. Like it's very genius how they portray this character, from even the camera angles to the framework, as to put you in these claustrophobic, uncomfortable scenes with him. It's just, for me, it's like, okay, at the same time, I'm not here to watch a movie to feel uneasy the whole time. Like there was never a point where it really kind of let up at all. It was just uncomfortable the whole way through.
I get you. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think there's a few things to be said about that. I always question what's better, the artist's intention or making a better movie, because I think, and sometimes they're one and the same, sometimes they're different. Because a lot of people, I would say that uneasy feeling is a good thing. We shouldn't be rooting for Arthur, yet we are in this weird way. But no, I shouldn't be. He's going to be the Joker. What is happening? Like, you're conflicted inside, and you're kind of just nervous and like antsy the entire time. But if that's what the movie was trying to do, then wow, you did it, movie. You got me in a state of emotion that you wanted me to be in. However, does that make it a good movie? It's up to the viewer, I would say, at that point. You don't like it. I technically haven't seen it.
Oh.
I know, I'm throwing out opinions. I haven't. Just because, like, when was it? It was in theaters last summer, right? Okay. What was I doing last summer? Oh, I got an internship job, yeah. And then I was moving, and then I got into a new relationship. I was just kind of, like, doing my own thing.
You had a lot going on.
I did.
Yeah.
Dang. You know what? I regret. I was going to go watch Terminator Dark Fate with my mom when she came down to visit. We were going to go to the Chinese theater to watch it. But I decided, no, I'd rather just spend a day with you, Mom. This would be, like, I'd rather just go to dinner, because she prefers dinners over activities. Just to hang out and have some fun. And I was going to go to the Chinese theater sometime after that in December, and I never did. And now everything's closed, and I really want to go to the Chinese. It's just a movie theater. It's just an IMAX movie theater, but it's like, it's the Chinese theater. But yeah, I still need to watch Arthur. It's on my top, like, 3 things I need to watch. I could technically watch it instead of Avatar at some point. Maybe I'll just binge watch a bunch of stuff this weekend. There's so much content.
I would watch it. Give it a watch. And
I plan on it. I want to. I just haven't yet.
Yeah. I say we should give it a quick analysis at some point in the podcast, because I do want to hear it. That would be interesting from your perspective to mine on that movie. I think that'd be
fun.
A good.
And dude, I like it when people have different opinions. It's when people are so strong about their opinions that they feel. I don't think your opinion is wrong. I don't think Tony's opinion is wrong either. I think you both have good opinions, and nothing is... The only facts are the effects of what's been done and the shots itself. Like, the shot has yellow in it. The shots have green in it. This stars this actor and whatnot. This made me feel uncomfortable, or I absolutely love this. Like, those are facts, but in terms of what is good, what is bad, is so up to the watcher that I cannot wait for that podcast to happen. Hopefully very soon here.
Too.
That'd be kind of fun. Just let's talk about a movie, like, for an entire podcast.
Dude,
you know what? I'm gonna put that down as an idea.
Yeah. What's crazy is I feel like we could. This was definitely more of a fun podcast, which to me is a good turnaround. To balance out from the last one just a little bit.
Yeah, what was the... Oh, yeah, the last one I ranted a lot. Oh, I was angry in the last one.
I did... We both kind of ranted. It wasn't bad, though. We just went into stuff, kept making jokes about, listen here, kids.
Don't listen to us. Youngsters.
Don't listen to us. We're just... live... I don't know.
Or listen to us, but you don't have to do what we say.
Yeah, I mean, we're not financial advisors or anything, so we're just living life, and you can take from our experiences, and hey, you know what? I hope it finds somebody some joy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And if you like the Joker, or if you don't like the Joker, consider liking this podcast and subscribing. You know
I
what?
agree.
You maybe put down in the comments. Well, do you like the Joker or do you not like the Joker? Even if you like it, what do you not like about it? Or if you hate it, what do you like about the movie? I think that'd be a fun little exercise.
Yeah, or please, if you dislike it and you don't want to put anything you like about it, I would love to read that as well.
There you go. There you go.
All intense. Dude, that movie made me mad. I was so mad.
Really?
Yes, I don't like that uncomfortable feeling for a whole 2
Ooh.
hours.
Ooh.
I was like, can we stop already?
Have you seen Annihilation?
What's that?
Natalie Portman and Oscar.
No, I know what you're talking about. But I have not seen
Isaac? Oscar Isaac? Oscar Isaac, that's his name, yeah. Dude, you want a tense movie? Go watch that one.
it.
It's uber tense. But it's like, consider the modern 2001 A Space Odyssey. It's got like these really weird science fiction elements in it. I'm doing a little video for Mogul this week about it, and I'm rewatching a shit ton of scenes from that movie, more or less for research.
Mm-hmm.
There's, for those who have seen it, the bear moment inside the house, freaking bonkers. I would love to be there. I would love to watch it with you. I haven't seen it since theaters, and I've been only watching clips here and there for this episode. But dude, when I move back, and whenever you're over, or heck, if I'm over, we got to do like a movie thing.
Yeah,
It's like, let's just watch.
I'm so
stuff.
down.
I needed an excuse to go watch stuff outside. You know, it's my industry. I should watch something for research. No, I need to do it for fun.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? On that note.
On that note.
What do you say? What do you say? We give it a wrap. I don't know how to end things. I'm bad at goodbyes as well. I don't know how those.
I'm
work
good at
very
saying I'll see you next time. I don't like
There we
goodbyes.
go.
I do like postponing a goodbye indefinitely. But I would also like to say thanks for listening. And I've been Matt.
And I've been Josh.
Tune in next episode when we talk about Jurassic Park and having romantic relations with aliens.
Or not. Or
Probably not.
You know,
Probably not. Probably not. Sadly. I mean, if you'd like us to talk about that, please let us know in the comments.
Jeez.
All right, I'm cutting.